Hello, Salesforce Ohio, Walters954 here, and in this video we are taking a look at another ApexSandbox question. So this ApexSandbox question is about SOQL queries, and what we're trying to do is implement a method that selects students that are unreachable. So there's a table that is inside of your Salesforce org. It has these fields over here, and if the students are unreachable, so they don't have an email or they don't have a phone number, then we want to return those in a list and then probably do something with them. So a few things before we get started. One, if you're trying to follow along and do this, you will need to install the package into your org. So there's this link here. You'll need to go ahead and install that package for whatever org you have signed in under. And then make sure to look over the data model that comes with this. There's a whole data model that is related to the org or to the package that you're installing. So it's very important to have those two, or else none of this is going to work. All right, let's jump into this, and we're doing a query. So what we're going to want to do, at least to start, is to store our query values into something. So since we want a list of students to be returned, we're going to need to create a list of students, right? So let's call that students for our list name. Then we're going to need to actually write our SOQL query. So in the requirements, it says to make sure that we return the ID and the name. So to do that, we're going to start out with select, which is the start of our SOQL query. Then we need to throw in the fields that we are selecting from. And then we need to decide what table we are selecting from. So in this case, we're selecting from the student table, throw that in there. And now comes the conditions, because if we just had this, let's close this off here and return our students. We run this, we're going to see that down in the execution, we're going to get a bunch of errors, right? Two tests, some of them did pass, which is, I guess, kind of weird, but most of them are failing, right? This just looks like a size check for checking that there's 0. But overall, we did not pass this 100% because we need to add in some filter criteria. Oh, and there's also an ordering in here. To do filter criteria, let's move this all the way down. We need to type in our where clause and then say where the first one is our email, grabbing this field in here, is equal to null. And let's throw this in at the end here. Oh, it tried to like autofill something for me. And let's try not autofilling again. I'm trying to make sure that everything is kind of lined up. And the phone number is equal to null. So we've got those conditions in there, right? Let's run this again, see what we get. Still a bunch of errors because we've not completed all of the criteria for this. One of the things it says here is that all the list members are active, right? So let's throw another and in here. The field name is active. Active is true. Let's run this, see what we get. So we're getting more and more tests that have passed here. That's great. We're only looking at one test that has failed. And this is because of the final sort or the final criteria in here. We want to order by the name. So let's order by name. Throw this in here, and boom, we have passed all of our tests here and have successfully been able to query the values that we were looking for. If you want to learn more on SOQL and actually writing good, clean SOQL statements, check out my course, The Ultimate Guide to Salesforce SOQL, which goes over this and a lot more in-depth things on SOQL, like aggregate queries and how to use it in Apex and stuff like that. I'm Walters954. Thanks so much for watching. And remember, I believe in you.